Hello, everyone. So we have finally made it at last to final tribal council. We started with 24 all-stars who played one of the 5 previous seasons. Some even played multiple seasons. Some played our Traders Mini. And now, after much blindsides, advantages galore, we have finally reached the summit, the final 3. We have Dom, we have Grace, we have Melissa. They all played season 5 together, but I'm not going to tell much about their games because that's going to be up to them. So everyone can be on camera right now if they want, including Jury. Jury, you can be on camera. First of all, shout out to our jurors, shout out to all our players. Whether you made it to the end, whether thank you so much for playing this season. We really enjoyed. This made it a really just fun because everyone here wanted to play and wanted to play hard. So it is customary at any final tribal that I'm attending, even as a player, and it's not prime time, that I do a shot in your honor. And I think a couple other people have brought some shots as well. So Nostrovia. I refilled mine. Okay, weird. All right. So, how this works is we're going to have opening speeches. Each player will have 8 minutes to give their opening speech, and 8 minutes only. Jurors will then have 5 minutes to address the jury or address the final 3. They can ask questions. They can make statements. They can do whatever they want. They can sing a song for those 5 minutes. I don't care. But they have 5 minutes. You also all don't have to use that 5 minutes because House of the Dragon's on later tonight, and at some point I'd like to watch before I go to bed, so we'll see. But yeah. And then we'll have closing speeches, also 5 minutes each. Dom, because he won the final immunity challenge, got to determine the order of our speeches, and it will be... he has elected that Melissa will start, then he will go second, and Grace will go third, and it will be the reverse of that order for closing speeches. Pam's on shot 2, so we're going to see how this night goes. All right. Any questions before we begin? Final 3, jury. All right. So then, Melissa, you are going to go first. Everyone else can have their cameras off. I'm going to have my camera off and turn it on once it's close to the end of time. For this part of it, just the people that are speaking should have their cameras on. So that means Jenny and Dan, if you could turn your cameras off. And then once we're in the jury phase, it is going to be just the people with their the final 3 plus the juror. All right. Melissa, whenever you are ready.
Oh, gosh. All right, I'm so nervous. All right, I guess I'm ready.
Go ahead.
All right, so starting off in this game, I knew I was going to be at a disadvantage as I had a trip planned for Pennsylvania. Also, I'm used to being somebody that wins a lot of comps, so I didn't win anything in this game. So for the first time, I had to focus solely on a social game. That being said, I never even tried to find the idol. I did find 2 powers that I bought because my biggest secret in the game. I know a couple of you had mentioned to me that somebody had thrown that relay comp. That was me. I threw that comp. I got paid 100 coins for that and bought 2 powers for it. I had 2 final 2s in this game, one that I made with Grace, and then Katrina made one with me. So, Travis, I really wanted to work with you, but it kind of seemed like you didn't trust me and that you had relationships elsewhere in the game. Pam, I think we got off to a slow start, but I definitely felt like we were starting to make a connection, and I did not want you to leave. Unfortunately, when that revote happened, I was more connected with Dom, so I did have to vote you out a minute ago. Dan, I absolutely loved working with you, and you were 100% part of my endgame. Derek, this is one of the hardest votes for me, but ultimately I knew there was a big target on my back, and I just couldn't make waves at that point, and I do kind of regret that. Katrina, I absolutely adore you, and I meant everything that I said about staying friends after this game. Unfortunately, you were too focused on there being a season 5 alliance, which actually did not exist until you kept pushing that narrative. Ultimately, it became a I had to get you before you got me scenario. Topher, although you and I did have an alliance together, we really didn't have any one-on-one interaction, and therefore really didn't know where your head was truly at, and I kept hearing that you were pushing my name, so it just made sense for my game to vote you out. Leslie, I really wanted to work with you until the end, but you voted me, so I had to get you out. Veronica, I'm so happy that you and I came full circle in this game, and without you, I would not be sitting here right now. Thank you for that. And Eric, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversations and getting to know you, but unfortunately, we weren't aligned, and I had to stick with my own. I really wish that we had gotten to connect earlier in the game, but it just wasn't in the stars for us. Hopefully, we can change that in the next game. Like I said, I'm super nervous. I probably forgot a whole bunch. Thank you, production, for another amazing season, and I hope you guys will vote for me. That's it.
All right, thank you, Melissa. All right. Next up is Dom, and Dom, whenever you are ready.
Hey guys, I'm Dom, and I'm incredibly nervous. So, this game started about 38 days ago, yeah? And I remember that night very well. I was in my bathroom, nervous as hell, using the Horseman drone, wondering what that spot in my face is when I looked in the mirror. Well, I took care of that, and then I looked at myself in the mirror again, and I said to myself, I'm gonna win this game, no matter what. That's my motivation. So when I came on camera and I saw everyone, I was nervous, excited, but I also knew that the first question I was asked, which was what my motivation was, I lied about that. My motivation never changed. It was always to win this game. Day 4, I found the idol because I spent my money wisely. I didn't know what the advantages were, and when I gathered points, what I used it for was getting extra guesses. I was able to cut down the number of places the idol or the levels the idol could be, and I found it in day 4, and it was the power of knowing what the idol was that was most important to me. So in the very first tribal council, it was very interesting because it almost foreshadowed my game in a sense. And early on, I found myself in an alliance with Melissa, Katrina, and Leslie. Leslie, I adored because of his personality. He's my sense of humor. Melissa and I had a great relationship for the game in our previous season, and Katrina I bonded with a great lot. And then in the end, I was also put in alliance with Dan, Josh, and Topher. And I was kind of in the middle. I didn't want Taylor Jansen to go, and Katrina told me that they had an advantage and they gave somebody smoke. Topher, I found you most threatening. You are a phenomenal player from what I've seen, and we at least connected throughout that weekend. So I pushed your name. I still voted with you guys, but I knew where the vote was going. So then we went to a swap situation, and I found myself with Eric and Veronica most of all. Eric and I have known each other for quite a while, and we played with each other, but it never really worked out. And I feel like in this game, people really didn't know us too well, so we could hide our relationship, and we basically stuck it out. We pulled our pants down. We both had idols, and that started our relationship, which helped us, and almost won the game, whatever the fuck that means, who knows. And then there was Veronica, almost like a bad ex where you had a bad breakup, and I really wanted to work with Veronica, and I stuck with that. I feel like she was a good player to have on my side, and maybe a shield down the line, who knows. But merge happens, and the person that helped me most in merge was Derek, who was the only person I didn't previously talk to when we went into merge. And Derek was super kind with me, and when the first merge happened, I told Eric about the situation. I didn't know he was gonna give it to Mike, to Pam, to play for Mike, and then Pam would have a super idol, and then Veronica was trying to snipe Eric. That concerned me because I wanted both of them in the game, because I feel like if one or the other goes, maybe my target level will increase, because I feel like I am a natural leader. It's just how I conduct myself. It's not because I have an ego or anything. But we went to the swap tribes, and Derek helped me a bunch. He really did. And without him, I probably wouldn't be in the game. There's a lot of people who wouldn't be here in this seat right now without them. And he told me about the situation about Veronica, telling him to vote Eric last minute, and that he also was concerned about Veronica's relationship with sorry. Was relationship with Travis. And me and Travis had a good bond, but not super much, and I felt like that was a good thing to do, because if Veronica was gonna target Eric, I needed to make sure Veronica wasn't gonna take him out, because that would hurt my game a lot. And I was incredibly nervous, and Derek ended up giving me coins, and eventually, it turns out a lot of people gave me coins. In total, 6 people, total of 232 points, or tokens, or whatever. And I feel like that just shows how many people had trusted me, and how many my trust level was higher than everyone else, because I didn't earn it because of hard work like some of you guys did. I wasn't smart enough to figure out these riddles and whatnot, but I was able to gain people's trust to gain that coins. So Pam went. Pam, you're an incredible competitor. You're super driven, and I was standing by you, and I feel like I'm sorry it had to be me or you, but unfortunately, it was you and not me. Final 10. That was the big turning point of my game, and Veronica, I felt like had a lot of advantages. So when she was getting targeted, that's not something I really liked. Katrina, I feel like having to do you was one of the hardest decisions I had to make, and I didn't take any joy in doing that. I feel like our relationship was deteriorating at that point. You were upset that Travis went. I was really upset Dan went. Dan helped me a lot. He gave me 60 tokens right away. Didn't ask for the advantage for the cappy that I bought with him very early in the game. And I was really sad. And then Derek, I feel like you were just playing such a good game. I know you from being super loyal and true to your word. And at this game, you were just in a position where you're becoming so vital to everybody's game because of sharing information, and I feel like people identified that, and we had to take you out. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry. And then Katrina, I feel like my relationship would have just gone to the downs. I knew you gave Eric the flood. I knew you made those alliances, and when we tried to come up with a plan with you, me and Grace, really it didn't seem genuine. So I had to take you out. I feel like it helped my relationship with Veronica, and I also used the cappy against Topher because I wanted to get Topher next, and I feel like maybe that would spook them, and they will play an advantage at Final 8 at Final 10, because Final 8 was the last time we played. Final 8, I won the immunity. Eric tried to get the idol. He wasn't able to get it actually, but he had the merge idol, because me and Eric found the merge idol right away in the beginning of the merge. And yeah, so I knew people weren't gonna target him because people thought he had the merge idol. He was gonna play that night at Final 8. Topher went, and then when he didn't play it, I tried to encourage the narrative that he faked it, but he still had the idol, which was merge. And then I had my advantage that I bought with everybody's money that they gave me at Final 10 to play a public vote. And I had an idol at that point, still from the pre-merge. That when I found that what is it called? Toad, and I was inevitable. Like if everybody was gonna vote me, I was gonna play it. So that happened. and I wanted Veronica and Eric to both stay in the game, so I made sure Eric flushed his idol, and yeah, Veronica after that went, and I need to make sure Eric beat Eric. That was one of the hardest decisions I had to make in my life, honestly. And then final four, Mike, I'm sorry, but at that point, I felt like what was fair was not to betray Melissa, and I'm sorry I had to betray you. Sorry. Thank you guys. I know that's my time. Yeah.
Thank you, Dom. All right. Last but not least is Grace. Grace, just give me 1 second. And whenever you are ready.
Hi everyone. I'm super nervous also. I suck at speeches, but I'm going to do my best to explain my game. I started out this game on the Koopa tribe. We were winning or got second most of the time, so we didn't have to worry about tribal on that tribe, but I was able to build some decent connections. We didn't really have to talk a lot of games, so game connections weren't really there, but socially it was there. Then we swapped, and my first tribal that I was going to be vulnerable, after the swap, it was like a double tribal, everybody was going. I was able to win individual immunity, so that gave me a little bit more time to help build those connections. On that swap tribe, I had connections with Katrina and Melissa, and Dan and Nicole. I also felt good with a lot of people on that tribe. I tried to play an under the radar social game, not come on too strong, because I usually get taken out because I'm pretty social. But I would say my strongest game was after merge, when it all got together. Katrina, Dom, and I had a group called the Trifecta, and I felt good with that group till Katrina told me basically that I was at the bottom of the group. So that's when the double tribal happened. I felt like it was a good chance to push for Katrina to go, because she had made it very clear that they were more connected with Dom than they were with me, and if it was a final two, they said they were taking Dom over me. So I had no problem pushing for Katrina to go on that one. Dom was wavering. I said, I'm voting for Katrina because I can't trust them. And then the Derek vote, that same exact tribal. The season 5 alliance or chat got started, that tribal, and we were deciding on who to go for. Veronica named everyone as options, and I said Derek's playing a really good under the radar social game, which is also what I was going for. So I kind of dropped his name and hoping that Veronica would push for it. I knew Melissa and Dom were really close with him, so they wouldn't go for it if I just pushed it with them. And then sorry, I'm really nervous. I mean, I worked tightly with Melissa and Dom and Veronica. I flipped to work with Eric and Mike on the when we voted out Veronica, because I knew Veronica or Eric needed to go at final 6 in order for us to make it to the end. I didn't think either one of them was going to take me to the end. So I flipped and we got out Veronica. She was just better at different competitions that I wasn't good at, so I figured that bettered my odds. And then we got down to the Eric vote, and Don had been telling me for days it was going to be super hard for him to vote out Eric. And I had really been pushing, like, we can't beat Eric, we can't beat Eric, we can't take him to the end. The night of the Eric vote, he told me that him and Eric were actually really good friends outside the game. So I knew I needed to push even harder for Eric to go, because I knew Eric was not going to take me to the end either. Him and Dom were super tight, and everyone else other than Eric had already promised to take me to the end. I knew Dom was taking me to the end. Melissa and I had a final 2. Mike had already promised me after the Veronica vote that he wasn't going to vote me out. So I had a clear path to the end after Eric was out. Yeah, after that, final 4, I can answer any questions you guys have, but that's all I have to say, so thanks.
All right, thank you, Grace. At this point, we will start our jury part of this. If the final three can all come on camera. All right, and first up is Eric. All right.
Hello, Final Three.
Eric, whenever you're ready.
Yep, well, it's good to see two of you. The two of you that it's good to see, I don't need to address you guys at all. Dom, you know it's coming. To keep everything that I want to say to you under 5 minutes is going to be extremely difficult. And I have bullet points in front of me to try to keep myself on track as best I can. So, I understand that the decision you made at Final Five was difficult. And quite frankly, I don't care. The fact that it was even difficult for you offends me on an incredibly deep and incredibly personal level. Because you've known for a long time how much it would have meant to me. As I've said multiple times, I don't care if I win, Dom. All I want to do is get to the end with you. We've tried to do it multiple times. It's never worked. This is the best chance we have. This is the last chance we have. I don't care if you beat me unanimously. I just want to be there with you. You promised me the world. I don't know if you ever, and quite frankly, I don't know if you ever even had any intention of keeping those promises. By your own admission to me, the day you voted me out, you are an insecure, fearful little bitch. I have never fathomed a world where an org win was so important to somebody that they would be willing to backstab and betray on such a deeply personal level somebody that they claimed to love like a brother. And in that moment, I realized you have no idea what it means to truly be a brother. I am an older brother. I have a younger brother, and I can tell you a few things. Like you and I, brothers bicker. They argue and they fight. But at the end of the day, a brother's propensity to always have his brother's back through thick and thin never wavers. A brother doesn't promise his brother the world and then backstab him at the last second. And if they ever would, they would certainly have the decency to look him in the eyes while they do it. Your word in this game was absolute filth to everybody you gave it to, except to your credit, the two people that you sit with here at the end. But outside of those two, your game was dirtier than the dogs you get paid to wash for a living. And the one thing, and I said this at final, I'm going to wrap it up now, I truly meant the words that I said to you at Final Five Trial. I think you have a great chance to win tonight. You know that you'll do it without my vote, but I hope at the end of the day it was all worth it. Not just the many betrayals, not just the many backs that you stabbed. I hope it was worth all the substantial amount of respect that I lost for you. I hope it was worth whatever that amount of respect you will never earn back is. And I guess my question to you is, how does that make you feel?
It
doesn't matter how it makes you feel!
I think that's
I think that's it.
I think he's calling it.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Veronica.
Okay. Hi everyone. Sorry.
Can you put your camera on?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be really dark because I'm in the car.
Okay, that's fine. And whenever you're ready.
Okay. So, my question is for Dom. How many people did you screw over to get here and why? My first question.
Really, that I feel like I screwed over was Eric, Mike, Derek, Katrina. And why?
Okay.
Katrina, I felt like me and their relationship was deteriorating, not on a personal level, but on a strategic level. They trusted more Eric, they gave him the flood advantage. They made alliances outside of me and Grace that they weren't telling me about, and pushing the narrative that me and you and Grace and Melissa were working tightly, which at that point we weren't, right? We weren't. They only and they would keep pushing that narrative, and me and Grace told them to not do that. That doesn't hurt a game. If you want, they want to chew out, and we can do it. It just has to be a certain way. I felt like, and that's why I betrayed them. Derek, I feel like Derek, I've known as a me and him played with each other. We made it final three. It was a final two and he beat me, fair and square. And he was a competitor. He's super passionate and he's somebody who is very true to his word. And that's how I saw him. Somebody who would maybe follow you and be very strong to your connection with him. And what I saw was somebody who was super smart, playing an under the radar game, giving a lot of people information, and that threatened me. And I'm sorry. With Eric, I watched back the tribal council, and obviously it doesn't equivalent to my relationship with him, with me and him. But he said he had to take his emotions out and make just game moves, and I feel like I had to do the same. Because I feel as much as I am secure about it, I think you have to play with some insecurity, because he's a much smarter player, he's more competitive than me, and he would have beat my ass. And then with Mike, I know how bad he wanted to be.
So then,
Go ahead.
so wait. Yeah. So then now, why should I vote for you when you didn't vote for me? When I feel like we kind of played very similar games in my season and this All-Star season. So why should I vote for you when you didn't vote for me in the end?
I felt like I'm much more emotional than you are. You are somebody who is able to put those two things aside. You are more cunning. You are much more of a game player than me. And I feel like, not to bother you, but I feel like you played much better this season. I feel like that season you misused your advantages. This season you didn't. And I feel like you respect game. I feel like me voting you out wasn't personal in a sense of other people on the jury. And I feel like you can see that I want this win, and I worked hard for it, and I feel like you could give me the vote for that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Is that it, Veronica? All right. Looks like it. All right. Thank you, Veronica. Next up is Derek. Derek, just hang on. Let me reset. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, I'm going to kind of change the tone here a little bit. I want all three of you to be super proud of getting to the end. I mean, All-Stars game with 24 people with battle bags, and you got to the end. Like, be very proud. Lift that chin a little higher. Don't be nervous. But yeah, I worked with all three of you in this game. I didn't take anything personal. I did think that I had a great group with Melissa, Grace, and Topher. And then Dom, you and I kind of agreed to just not ever be each other's number one, but we wanted to use each other to get us both as far as we could. So no issues with any of you voting me out, honestly. I was shocked to find out that some of you did vote for me when I went out, but hey, it's all good. All right, so I want to ask all three of you, this is a two-part question. Number one, what are you least proud of? So, I mean, this is your time to, hey, I know that this is a game and you have to hurt people's feelings. I'm not proud of this, but I did it. Just own what you did, and I just want to hear that. And then the second thing is, what do you think was your defining moment where you finally felt like you had control of this game? So I would like to hear from all of you. Grace, how about you start us off?
Okay, thanks though, by the way. Very nice. My least proud moment, I guess I don't feel like I stabbed a bunch of people in the back. I was really close with Veronica and I did want to work with her. I would say it sucked like turning on her probably the most, just because we had like a good relationship outside the alliance, and we were seeing eye to eye game wise. I just knew I could not beat her in the end. So that was kind of my least favorite moment, I guess. And then what was the second part again? I'm sorry.
It was like, what do you think was your defining moment where you finally felt like you had control of the game?
I felt good during the double vote. I mean, honestly, like Veronica threw out a list of names. I said, Derek's playing a really good under the radar game. The vote went that way. Dom called me having a really hard time about voting Katrina. I said, I'm voting Katrina no matter what, because they've made it clear that they trust you a lot more than they trust me. And they're putting a huge target on season 5's back. So I felt like that was kind of a turning point for me in the game. I got to kind of get a little bit more footing and vocalize what I wanted a little bit more.
I guess let's go with Melissa next.
So I have to say the moment I'm not proud of is throwing that puzzle in the relay. Yeah. Fun fact: after it was done, I did do it for real, and I did it in 6 minutes. But yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't remember who went out as a victim of that, but I apologize to that person. And like Grace, I think the moment when I knew I might actually have a chance to get in was the double where Katrina went out, because Katrina had been the one pushing to get season 5, and I know my name was coming up a lot based from my social connections. People were telling me, you know. But yeah, that was a defining moment for me, Katrina. I still love you though, Katrina. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you. All right, now Dom.
I think this is an obvious answer you might expect, but I did not feel good about betraying those people. Derek, you're one of the few people that know me before this game, and one of the things I commended you about at your final tribal council speech was you were true to who you are. Somebody who's honest, somebody who's has standards, and somebody who can back the word up. I couldn't. When I said those things, I betrayed those people. I betrayed that word because I felt like that was the best of my gameplay, and I'm sorry. And I envy you for that, honestly. Like, I wish I could have stand here and said like I wanted to stay closer to the people who are good to me and do good by them and make it to the end and win. I wish I could say the same thing. And then when I had control of the game, I think that was the question. Right when I won that final 8 challenge, I knew I had the blow up advantage that I was going to play final 7 with an idol, so I would basically turn into a super idol. Eric didn't find that advantage that I had an idol, so he wasn't. People were going to think he was going to play that idol that round, but he would have to play next round where we wanted to get that. I feel like that was a good way to flush it and still keep our relationship a secret, but also have Veronica and Eric be still the biggest targets of final 6. And then at that point, I just had to take them out. Grace won that challenge, so we took out Veronica, won final 5 challenge. Because honestly, I don't think I could have won it.
Alright, time.
Final 4.
Next up, thank you,
All right,
Derek.
thank you.
Next up, the man, the myth, the legend, Daddy Dan.
Hey y'all. First off, let's celebrate all y'all being there. Cheers. Alright. I'm not here to roast y'all on a personal level or anything. I don't think any one of y'all did anything to me in the game that was snaky. Maybe if I had stayed in more, I would have stronger feelings. Different story. That's not where I'm coming from right now. Where I'm coming from right now, after listening to your speeches and your answers so far, is that none of you have given me any compelling reason to vote you the winner of this game. Even Derek's questions about when did you get power? None of you seem like you are taking ownership for things in the game, besides maybe Dom for fucking people over. And that's more of an observation, because I've been taking notes like about your speeches and about what you did. So I'm gonna go quickly through each one of y'all. So Grace, obviously we were working together early in the game. It doesn't really matter about what end plans were. Literally, what did you do? Like, give me an example of like something that you actually did, pushed, and successfully executed in order to get yourself to the end.
I mean, I made the right alliances. I obviously got to the end with the 2 people I had to deal with from as soon as I connected with them. Also, I did put Derek's name out there. That I was the person that said his name. He was a huge threat. If he would have made it much farther, he could have won the game. He was playing a really, really, really good game. I pushed really hard for Eric to go. Melissa even said after we got to final 3, she would have kept Eric if we came to her and said we wanted to keep Eric. I was the main reason Eric got out at final 5. I think that's my main move. I pushed for the votes that I wanted to get to the end.
Gotcha. All right, thank you, Grace. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be complimentary towards all y'all. Like, y'all got to the end, so embrace it. Like, I'm just being a hardhead and ask the questions. So, I guess that segues to Melissa. Obviously, personally, we know each other, but that doesn't mean you get my vote automatically. You said you mentioned social game with no comp wins, and that you threw the relay comp. It's a very similar question. Like, what moves did you push? Like, obviously, you made the right alliances as well. What moves did you actually push? What drove you, or what did you actually drive to get yourself to the end?
I mean, I would have to say that the one vote that I would take responsibility for, and I didn't have much time on this one, but I did get on a call with Veronica, Dom, and Grace, and immediately said that I was voting Leslie that round. So that would be the one. And I do feel bad about that, but I know Leslie had voted me the previous round, and
I mean, game is game. What I'm trying to get from all of y'all is to fucking own it and to actually be proud of the game, because it seems like everyone is just trying to be like, kumbaya, we got there together. No, fucking make yourself stand out. You know what I mean? But I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I knew I was a big target, so I was kind of trying to stand back a little bit, you know?
Why do you think you would consider yourself a big target?
Because I kept hearing that my name was coming up. You know, like there was the whole season 5 thing, and for some reason it was my name and Veronica's name that kept getting pushed on that.
Alright, let me move to Dom, because I don't know how much time I got left. Dom, I mean, honestly, I've been taking notes. I have the most written down about you, but I think, I'm not going to shit on you for your gameplay, but, do you really expect to win this game after apparently backstabbing so many people?
Hard to say. All of these people, I don't know on a personal level, so I don't know if that's something they do. Do they vote bitterly? Do they vote for game? I'm not quite sure, and I was expecting to have a bad final tribal council. I really was. And to iterate, Melissa didn't decide Leslie going. It was always gonna happen because I was always gonna make it happen. I lined it up right when Final 10 happened. I lined it up. Topher. That's why I played the Cappy advantage that we bought together. So he would flush his advantages, and I would be able to take him out at Final 8. Because people didn't want to target Eric, because people thought he had an idol. I was immune. Then
Gotcha. So I'm going to interrupt you just because I don't know how much time I have left. I just want to say to the three of you, congrats again. Fight for yourselves. There's so much time left. Fight for yourselves. Prove to me why you deserve all of our votes, because right now it's kind of been pussyfooting along, and I need y'all to fight. And I think a lot of the jury might feel the same way. But thank you guys. I appreciate it, and good luck.
All right, thank you, Dan. Next up is Topher. Topher, whenever you are ready.
Ready.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not super bitter either. Congrats to all three of you. I'm with Dan. I don't feel like I've learned anything at all. So I guess with Dominic.
Oh. You have frozen, Topher? I'm not the only one that... I've paused your time.
Alright, can you hear me now?
Yes, I paused your time, so you're good. So you can continue.
Alright. No, I was just saying, I feel like it's been kind of boring so far. I feel like Eric's had the best final tribal council. So, Dominic, basically I want you with, passion, with, heart, an emotion. Tell us why, Eric's, a hypocrite. Why do you deserve to win? Why, I'll give you your chance to rebuttal his epic or whatever.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Topher. Why I deserve to win? You know this. You were there. I watched season 3 Final Tribal Council. He had to make the same decisions I do. Maybe not in a deeper personal level like me and Eric, but he chose his gameplay over emotion. And for him to say that, which I consider him one of the biggest competitors I know, this man would have crushed me here because look at me fumbling, dumbling, like a nervous wreck. He would have straight up killed my ass. And he would have been the 2-time winner, and I would have been the no-time winner. And I worked so hard in this game. I made the social relationships I needed to gain trust, to do the moves I wanted to do. Not Grace, not Melissa. They're here because of me, not vice versa. They helped me get here, but they wouldn't have been there without me. I feel like I could have been here without them.
Yeah, and we glossed over it, but I think your move to get me out the first time at the second tribal council, I think that was pretty cool. How did you pull that off? What was your thought process?
So Melissa, myself, and Leslie and Katrina were already in an alliance together. Me and Jensen, we were there at the first call. I fell for him. He wanted redemption. I wanted to give it to him. And then you, me, Dan, and Josh connected later on. And I was like, fuck, I'm in between two people. I can basically decide what happens. Katrina told me that Jensen had the locker board from the journey. And I'm like, I'm gonna use it in Topher because Topher, you and me at that point really didn't connect super much, unfortunately. And I thought you were the biggest threat. You were the person I was most intimidated by in this game. Because you went to the end twice. And you almost won twice. And I'm like, this guy is probably smarter than me. And he's more determined than me. And that scares me because sometimes I feel like I'm determined and then I look at Pam. I look at Veronica. I look at Dan. I look at all these players and I'm like, fuck, I have to take them out because they're gonna beat my ass. They're gonna out-hustle. They're gonna run laps on me. And that's why I wanted to take you out right away.
Oh, you paused again.
I mean, got a lot for me to review either. I don't know how much time do I have left.
You froze for a second. I didn't hear what you said.
You have about 2 minutes.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. You have 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes. No, what I was saying is that I think Dan gave Grace and Melissa a chance to plead for their cases. I don't think either one of you really took advantage of that. So I don't really have much else to say on that. But I think Dominic, I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering for you. Just show that passion. Own it. I mean, yeah. Be sorry, but don't be too sorry. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Topher. You froze again. No. I think you're dead. Okay. Next up is Leslie. Leslie, whenever you are ready.
All right, final three. Congrats to making it this far. We are roughly at the halfway point of jury questioning, so we're going to start it off this half on a lighter foot. Each of you take about a minute each to give me a good answer. I've put a lot of thought into what I was going to ask that would try to help benefit each of y'all. Tell me what you are most proud of that you did during this entire season. What put you where you are? Dom, you go first.
I'm part of a lot of things. So single one out. Do you want only one answer? Do you want multiple or?
I just want to hear what the past two jurors were speaking of. They want y'all to be proud. We want to know why should we vote for you. So this is your opportunity. Tell me.
I'm proud of getting all of those points. I got a total of 232 points from other people, not even me. I spent my points on getting those extra questions to get those items, and both times I didn't. The third time you got it because me and Eric kind of fucked up on that one. That was our fault. But I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being able to say I dictated the end of this game because I did. I put myself in those positions. I made sure the things I wanted to make happened. I'm proud of that, and I'm very proud of winning Final Four. I have been in so many games where I've lost Final Four and it ended my game, and I feel like I could have won. And the host told me I could have won. And to win, even though it was not the very flashiest or greatest way of winning, I'm very proud of that. Because that's something has been haunting me for so fucking long.
I appreciate that answer, and thank you, Dom. Can we please move on to Grace real quick?
Yeah. I'm proud. I mean, I think I set myself up really good socially. People want to say that I hid behind people, but I was going to get taken to the end no matter what at Final Four. Mike said he wasn't going to vote for me. Don said he wasn't going to vote for me. Melissa said he wasn't going to vote for me. I had a clear path to the end after I got Eric out, and I'm really proud of that. I think I set myself up right. So I think that was one of my best moves, personally.
I appreciate that, and having a great social game is something that you can be very proud of. It's a great asset to have. Melissa, can we move on to you finally real quick?
I'm most proud of the fact that I played as loyal as I could. I didn't betray anybody until I knew that they had tried to betray me ahead of time. Yeah, oh, and I'm also proud of that I'm pretty sure that I had the least amount of advantages in this game. So, yeah, I hope they answered the question.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you taking a moment to answer my question, and I appreciate you speaking up loudly and proudly about yourself. Hopefully that's going to help y'all with the other jurors. That'll about end my time, Brendan.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Next up is Pam. All right, Pam, whenever you're ready. That's shot number 3.
This is number 5.
Oh, God. I'll shut up.
Amen, fam. Same here.
All right. So I had other questions, but I think I want you guys to be a little more humble because I don't know either one, any of you guys really. So my question to all 3 of you is going to be, can you tell me something about the other 2 players that you respect? Starting with Grace.
I respect Melissa because I respect social games. She played a really good social game. Like, she was able to always hear when her name was out there and always know that if she was in trouble. And that's like a really valuable asset. And I think like a lot of people, she had trusted the right people and she plays a loyal game. Dom, I respect him because he made the cuts when he needed to. I know Eric was a hard vote for him and like we really had to talk about it, and Katrina, but he did take his heart out of it like he said, and I respect that.
Melissa?
I respect Grace for her social game and her loyalty. And I don't recall actually ever hearing Grace's name until the Eric vote. And I absolutely was not going to vote Grace. Dominic, I absolutely respect your strategic game. I don't know if anybody else sees it, but I see you as a strategic master. And you should be proud of that.
Dom?
So with Melissa, she was incredibly social aware, and she made those connections of when people said her name, she knew exactly who to talk to make sure her ass is staying in the game. Grace, oh, I have a lot of good things to say about Grace. Grace, I feel like if you look at a dictionary of Dom's Dream Alliance member, it might be Grace, only in the sense that I feel like when I asked her to get stuff done, she gets it done. She's super smart at what she does. She's super strategic, and she's somebody who I don't see as a follower, but somewhat of a partner. And I do take a lot of the credit for the moves I did, because I did make them. But I feel like she helped me.
I don't want to hear about you talk about your game. I want to hear you talk about their games.
They helped me. Grace was able to make sure to figure out what the strategic move was that I and her needed to make. We both were a team, and she made as much strategic moves as I did.
Okay. I just wanted to hear how you respected the other players. So my last question is, if you were sitting on the jury, which one would you vote for? Starting with Dom.
I would vote Grace.
Melissa?
If I was on the jury, would I vote for Dom or Grace?
Yeah.
That's hard. Probably Dom.
And Grace.
I vote for Melissa. I always respect a social game, and I think she even had her hand on the ball the entire time, so that's who I vote for.
Thank you all. I had a great fun time. You see, I'm as Mario. and I have one more shot, and then I emptied the bottle. So congrats for being where you're at, and we'll see who wins.
Oh, Pam, I'm looking forward to the reunion.
Oh, I'm started already.
All right. Thank you so much, Pam. Next up is Trav Daddy, Travis.
Hi.
Whenever you are ready.
So I don't really have much to say because two of you I hardly talk to, and then the other one irrelevant. I mean, all three of you are pretty irrelevant. But good luck. And I still don't know who I'm gonna vote for, and I feel like no matter what I ask you guys, it's not really gonna help me make a more clear decision. So yeah, good luck and good night.
All right, Travis, short and sweet. Next up is Mike.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm heading outside.
All right, you're good. We're ahead of schedule.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Since I wasn't on the board, I do want to say best of luck to you all three. That's what I was going to say when I got put it off. But to the three of you, 1% I think played an amazing game. 1%, I didn't talk too much, but I do think your game is good. And 1% is not deserving my vote. However, that may change by your answer or by the question. What am I saying? However, that might change by your answer, by the question I give it to. And since everyone makes mistakes, my question is, what was one mistake that you made in All Stars? And Melissa, I would like you to answer that question for. And you can take your time with this.
I mean, one mistake would be misplaying a power that I have bought early in the game. The other one, I mean, I don't really have any regrets, honestly, because everything I did got me to this point. But yeah, that was the one thing, misplaying a power. Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
I'm stumbling right now, but I'm trying to say is, thank you for your answer, Melissa. Wait, I'm sorry, what's that, Melissa?
I just said thank you.
You're welcome. Grace, Grace, it's your turn. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Grace, can you answer the next question, please?
Same question?
Yes, it's the same question to everyone.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm good.
So my biggest mistake was probably, I only had one advantage in the entire game, and I ended up having Melissa steal it from me, and she didn't even need to play it, and having her play it, so that was probably my biggest mistake, because I only had the one. Yeah, but it's better to be safe than sorry, so, I mean, I guess I don't feel like it's that bad of a mistake, but that's probably my biggest mistake was having her play that and telling her that she needed to play it when she didn't really need to.
I will admit, it's always good to be safe than sorry. Is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for your answer, Grace. Dominic.
So, something that has been heavily weighing on my mind is not sending you to fire making. You couldn't obviously show up for the final challenge because you were at work. And I felt like you deserved the chance. And I was honestly afraid because I felt like you could have beaten Melissa, and Melissa would have been another person better than me. So that was my mistake. You deserve to be here. A lot of people said, "Oh, you didn't play a great game." I think you played an independent game, and you didn't take bullshit from anybody. You deserve to be here. I'm sorry I didn't push you in fire.
Okay. Thank you, and I wish all you three the best of luck and make the best person win.
All right, thank you,
Have
Mike.
a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day to you all.
All right, one juror left, and their name is Katrina. Whenever you're ready.
Don't start my time yet. I've got to turn my camera.
You're good. You're good.
First of all, before I get to the point, Brendan, it's not they, it's not there, it's not them.
She.
Grace. It's she. When I got a wig on, I am a woman. Okay. When I ain't, then you can say he. All right. Thank you, Melissa, for getting that correct. Anyway, so I guess I'll go. Isn't it beautiful that we started with the king first, and now we're ending with the queen? So, let's get to it. Let's get the ugly out of the way. Dom and Grace, I love that you used a mediocre excuse to get rid of me. Season 5 Alliance, oh baby, honey, even though I pushed the Season 5 Alliance, did I ever push your names? Not once. I was literally invited to y'all's table as a guest. I don't think y'all ever planned to take me to the final 3, even though y'all were actually my final 3, 100%. I didn't give y'all coins for no reason. I didn't try to help you find idols for no reason. It was all true. 100%. The alliance that was made that outside or whatever, I even said, I'm not making it. I will not do it because I didn't want to get blamed for it. I still got blamed for it and I got voted off. Thank y'all for that. Anyway, Grace, I do love that you owned up to the fact that you wanted me out because I said Dom was my number 1. You were right, darling. And I'm proud of you for admitting that. Melissa and I did have a final 2, but it was over very quickly because I heard that she was going to join Nicole if they were going to vote me out. So I no longer wanted to align with Melissa after that. And then that's when me, Grace, and Dom on Kong 2 had our final 3, and I was going to stay there that to the end. So that's over with, all the uglies out of the way. I want to get to the positive. Well, this is actually not positive, but so my cousin, who's like my sister, just lost her daughter right after I got voted out, and we had her funeral Friday. She was only 11 years old, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She did not deserve to die that young. So I want to tell every jury member to think about this. This is a fucking game. You'll have to realize we're playing a game. We are all real people, Dom. We are real people with real emotions. Remember that. And I do see that you have emotions, and I'm proud of that. But you need to think about things that you do a little bit more. However, with that said, y'all are all beautiful people. I think that you all deserve a win, but there's clearly one person who outplayed the rest of you, and that's what it is. But I want you all to remember, we are all real people with real lives and real stories. This is just a fucking game. People die every day. We're making this too much. So even if you lose, go home with your head held high. Congratulations, y'all did amazing. So, my question, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about what you are, what you have learned about yourself in this game. I want you to envision it. I want you to understand it. I want you to see it. I don't want it to be stupid. I want it to be actually emotional. Think about what you learned about yourself and hold that image. And I want it to be positive. Okay? Don't share the answer with me. That's for you. I love you guys. Good luck. I cannot wait to see who wins.
Thank you, Katrina. The only reason I was using they them is you kind of slacking on outfits this season, so I was trying to take the gender neutral approach. That's fine. All right. Well, that is the last juror. So everyone, Dom, Grace, Melissa, take deep breath. As we prepare for final closing statements. All right. And starting off your closing statement is going to be Grace.
Okay. I've heard what everybody said. I think I own my moves. I own the Derek move. I own the Katrina move. I own the Eric move. They said they weren't going to take Eric out. I was the one who really pushed for Eric to go. I knew Eric was not going to take me to the end. Everybody else left was going to take me to the end. Mike had promised me after the Veronica vote, like I said, Melissa and I had the final 2, and Dom and I were set to go. I think those were my strongest moves. I did play a quiet game, but I also subtly pushed for votes that I wanted without trying to be too pushy and get a big target on myself. I avoided getting a big target on myself. So that's where I think my power plays were. I mean, vote for me if you think those are good moves. I think they're good moves, but yeah. So that's all I really have to say. Thanks.
All right, Dom. All right, Dom, whenever you're ready.
So, first, I want to say with rebuttal race, Eric wouldn't have happened without me. If I didn't want to have Eric out, he wouldn't have gone up. Same with Derek. I had the idol. I could have easily played it. I feel like I played the best strategic game. I made the moves I felt like I needed to make, and I exactly put myself in a position to make decisions for my game, not anybody else's, but for my game. And I don't think anybody can say that here. I won 3 challenges. I know Mr. Brennan doesn't like me much, and he didn't mention it, but I now hold, sorry, Veronica, hold the record for most lifelong primetime individual immunities. And the social game, yeah, I'll admit, I didn't get to know some of you guys in the personal level. I'm sorry, because I am afraid. I do play afraid. I do play insecure, because I am very afraid of hurting people's feelings. I feel like I've been let down by a lot of people in my life, and yeah, Eric, yeah, I watched dogs for a living, but it's not the position I really wanted myself to be in this lifetime. But I feel like I people have let me down, and it's just the position I'm in. And what I learned in this game, I want to share what Katrina asked us to think about, because it does help me a lot. My goal was to win this game because I felt like I wasn't good enough to win. I wasn't smart enough to win. I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't likable enough. And I wanted to prove to myself that I am good enough, that I can win this game. And what I did instead, in a consequence of playing, and in my opinion, a great fucking game, gameplay wise, I let down people that counted on me, just like how people let me down when I counted on them. And now I see that maybe I shouldn't hold a grudge against those people who let me down in my life, because I don't know their circumstances and their decision making. And they were maybe thinking selfishly, but you know, sometimes we do think selfishly because sometimes we feel like we are insecure, or we're not proud of ourselves, or we don't have enough power, we're not happy. So in conclusion, vote who you guys think is what makes you guys feel most comfortable, what makes you happiest. If you want to vote me for having the best gameplay, that would be great. If you don't, I understand too. It's just a game. I came with a mission of one thing only, or to win this game, and I did my best to do that. And if I'm gonna live with the regret of having to blindside people and hurt their feelings and not win this game, I'm gonna have to just wake up tomorrow morning, look in the mirror, and reevaluate myself, because I don't want hurting people's feelings to be in vain, even though winning is not a justifiable excuse to hurting people's feelings. I'm sorry, and I hope you guys can respect my game. And I honestly appreciate all of you guys for being good players. It made the game a lot more fun. Season 5, a lot of the players that are not here sucked. I didn't think they were good at the game. Sorry, just being honest. And you guys were good at the game, and it made it fun. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Final 3. Just come on screen one quick second. Just want to thank you all. Take a deep breath. You have done it. You've survived.
Wait, Melissa.
Oh, yeah, Melissa. Oh, my God. Yeah, because she can't come on screen.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry. Oh, my God.
You have to.
Yeah, because I had to shut you off. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. Everyone corrects me.
Frazzled now.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so while I did not play a very flashy game, I did play this game 100% authentically myself. I did tell a couple of small lies, but I didn't tell any major lies. And if I had given you my word, I kept my word. The personal relationships I made were 100% true. None of that was to try to get votes. I came into this game saying I was here to meet new people and make new relationships, and I definitely feel like I accomplished that. My other goal was to get to the end with Drake's, and I also accomplished that. Like I said, was it a super flashy game? I played it as me. Hope you guys will vote for me.
All right, thank you, Melissa. I apologize. All right. Congratulations, y'all. You have survived the jury inquisition and your speeches. At this point, jury, it is time for a vote. Please, at this point, please put your parchment. I'll drop a parchment in your jury chat if you, because someone's gonna message me. But I'll drop parchment in the jury chat. And please vote for the person you want to win this game. Alright, where's that parchment? Alright, I'll be back with the votes.
Good luck, please.
Yeah, good luck to you too.
You guys did really good luck.
have it. Tony, if you can go off screen. I don't need to see you. I don't want to see all the three of you, though. All right. Before we read the votes, just want to thank you all so much. You know, being able to do an all-star season and then truly had an all-star cast, I don't think every org can say that. And that's not shooting down other orgs, but sometimes, like, to the fact that it really did not, like, I didn't struggle casting this season. I had to turn people down casting this season. And that's all because of you, because y'all play this game and play this game hard. And so this is to all 24 people that played this season. Thank you so much. Jury specifically. And we're going to be laying the pre-jurors in. That's actually kind of why I'm stalling. But, like, you all rocked this. You, and Melissa, Grace, Dom, it's not easy to get to a final three like this. We had more advantages than probably any other season combined. I'd like to see another org have as many advantages as we had this season. I don't have a final count. At some point, there was at least 23 out there at one time. And all of you had advantages at different points. It's funny because I would say, when I was thinking about, like, what's the theme this season? And my first joke about this was actually people making bad moves in an all-star season. Because there were a lot of bad moves made this season. But it's not about making the bad moves. It's about overcoming the bad move. It's doing things and being resilient and moving on from it, which I think is a great lesson in life. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna really fuck things up, and that's okay. As long as you get up, get back on the horse, and start riding. So all three of you played very, very good. Like, Dom, you had so much. You had a lot of strategic control of a lot of moves in this game. Grace, you had a very great social game that took you, that actually put you in a situation which was not the case your last season, where you were actually the biggest threat and people saw you and took you out. And this time you made yourself important to other people's games, and I think that's the key to a good social game. It's not so much of being super social. It is, how do you show other people your value? And then Melissa, I think you did a combination of Dom. I think you actually sold yourself a little short on some of the moves you made in this game. You threw a challenge for coins. You continued on, and also had good social relationships that I think took you to the end. So all three of you very, very deserving of the title here, but of course it can only be one. And there's enough people, so I'm going to let some pre-jurors in, and they can be present while we read the votes. And everyone else, if you can just turn your cameras off as you're coming in. That includes you, Slater. I don't want to see your face. All right. I'll wait for Melissa to get back on screen, and then I'll read the votes. Melissa, you there? I was boring you too much that you walked away?
So yeah, I don't want to see Slater's face either, so thank you.
Right. Yeah, none of us do.
Kidney stones make me use the bathroom.
Alright, I feel that. I actually had to go to the bathroom before reading the
one in,
votes.
I hit the space bar.
Alright, I was like, okay. Alright, enough dilly-dallied. Let's read the votes. Find out the winner of Survivor Primetime All-Stars. The first vote, and remember you want to see it, is Dom. Second vote is Grace. Third vote is Melissa. 1 vote each. Dom. It's 2 votes Dom. Grace. 2 votes Dom, 2 votes Grace. Melissa. We are tied 2-2-2. Dom. That's 3 votes Dom. Grace. That's 3 votes, Grace. Melissa. That's 3 votes, Melissa. That is 3 votes, Dom, 3 votes, Grace, 3 votes, Melissa. There is 1 vote left. Thank God we didn't have 9 jurors. I did have a plan, though. I did have a plan. All right. The winner of Survivor Primetime Season 6 All-Stars is Dom. Dom, congratulations. Everyone else, you can come on screen. Even Slater.
Hey, Dom, I'm about to eat dinner. Congratulations, motherfucker. Great game, all y'all.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
We just cannot have, like, blowout votes
Thank you,
in
guys.
prime time.
Congrats.
Oh, well, Dom, how do you feel?
Not quite sure.
Hmm.
My motivation was to win this game. I've accomplished that, but the things I felt like I needed to do that, which obviously there could have been other ways, but when I did do, they did not feel great. So as much as I'm very happy winning, it's something I haven't done in like 4 years, tried so many times. I'm not happy about some of the feelings I've inflicted into other people, but thank you guys so much. Whoever voted me, it means a lot.
You know, Dom, like I said, I think, like, strategically, I think you dominate, well, I say dominated, but yeah, you dominated. You know, you were almost behind most moves this season. You discounted yourself with advantages. You actually did have enough, and you're the only person to have found more than 1 idol. Which, you know, the idols were probably the hardest to find out of the group.
Veronica found more than 1 idol, too.
Did she?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
You know what? I didn't give him credit.
An idol.
I didn't give him credit for having the career amount of challenge win, so I'm just gonna say that's why I give it to him. But yes, also Dom, you won 3 immunities this season, which also got you now the career primetime record. Not the season primetime record, but the career. So Veronica, you can still have that trophy.
Okay.
Yeah. Melissa, you got 3 votes tonight. I think a lot of people respected your social games. And I think, like I said, I think you were a combination if you like put like Dom and Grace together. And then Grace, I think it was pure social game that I think got you definitely some people's respect, at least on that end. Yeah, I don't want to be the only one talking, but
I mean, I think it's pretty clear to say though the alliance of the game is going to be the Hurricanes.
Oh, easily.
What is it now? The title wave?
Tsunami.
It's tsunami.
So yeah, I think that's the first thing we can talk about. We had the one advantage. This alliance existed since season 5, and there's a 4th member of this alliance, but he didn't play this season, and that was Hyrie. And I felt really bad because I never made a like graphic until after Hyrie got voted out. And so, because I felt so bad because of that, I ended up making one afterward, and I'm going to bring that up in a second. I don't know, I don't want to change that. Once I find it. Hold on
I
to
just
that.
want to say, though, Hyrie might not have been in this season, but he was 1,000% with us in spirit.
Oh, I believe that. Oh, let me find that. The image is pretty good, though. Because it actually has Hyrie in it, and he was blown away by the hurricane.
Isn't he black and white too?
He is in black and white because he got voted out. Yeah, of course.
Brennan, I feel like you addressed Melissa and Dom, but you didn't address Grace. So.
Yeah, Grace. Yeah, you know, you got. I think you know, social game. I think really was kind of what got you to the end. I said that.
Yeah, he said that.
Pay attention, Katrina.
I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna admit to that boo advantage.
No, I just meant like I feel like the other two got a little bit more attention like from you, like, and we didn't really get to see Grace's reaction to it, like, because I do feel like I was wavering tonight. Grace almost got my vote.
Yeah.
Yo, Slater, you look awkward as fuck wearing a tie.
I came from church, my bad.
Ah, yes. This was the image.
There we go.
Hiring being blown away. I didn't change it from this season. All right, let's. I mentioned that this was the season of bad moves. You know, and we had some interesting ones throughout this season. And is Nicole here? Nicole's not here, but Leslie here. Can you grab Nicole? You might not be here. I was hoping to talk about them. Interesting moves. I know, like, Travis, you had a Cape Mario. You didn't play that correctly. Let's see, yeah. Melissa, I didn't think you were going to own up to that one. The fact that you didn't realize an item was transferable, so you just, used a advantage to steal. So you wasted an advantage to steal one from your ally. Nicole might be the funnest one of the worst moves of the season. But also, Eric almost idled himself out, and then Pam saved him with the, Pam doesn't want to talk about it, but Tam, 6 shots in. Let's talk about it.
Wrong button, sorry. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so what made you decide to save Eric?
I played an honest game. And Eric gave me an idol to play on myself because he didn't know about my one-up. Oh, I have a husky in the background. And then he switched it to Mike. So I saved Mike. And then when it went to Eric, I just felt obligated to bring Eric back.
It would have been such a...
I should have saved you.
It would have been such a move, though, if you kept your own one-up item.
And kept his idol.
And kept his idol, yeah.
Well, Mike would have gone in that case, though.
But yeah, he would have been mad then, I guess, but clearly.
I should have just kept the idol for myself and played on. Kept the one-up and the idol.
I do think best shop usage was Dom. He didn't tell you in his speech, but he actually banked extra guesses to use at merge. So
yes.
He found that idol at merge night 1 because he had extra guesses banked.
Yeah, it was found so quick. I'm surprised you didn't bring that up because I'm like, you kind of did. You alluded to people giving you coins and you buying a bunch of stuff.
I did the first time. I only had one extra one merge, so I used 2 for the merge.
Right, but you bought it ahead of time, knowing you used it at merge.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these final type of culture speech. I think everyone in the jury can agree.
But the worst shop move was probably Veronica, who at final 8 decided to buy a second spring mushroom, which expired at final 8 when she could have bought an extra vote, which would have saved Leslie.
Yep.
No, it was really hectic, okay? People were throwing coins at me. I didn't know what the fuck to do.
I was just like...
Realize it.
I was like, what are you... I'm literally in this shop, and I'm like...
I know, and I'm looking at you guys like, what the hell am I, I can only buy one thing here,
It was just like, okay.
It was so last second, I didn't think I could buy anything, and then all of a sudden I could buy something, I was like, give me something, anything.
Yeah. So, Derek, when you got voted out, you had a perception, a theory of kind of what happened. was that proven to be true, or did you find some information that might have changed some of your thoughts on that?
I mean, it definitely did not play out how I thought it did. So right before I went out, Topher had told me that he got a disadvantage on him, so he wasn't going to be able to vote. And he knew that I had this elephant fruit advantage, so I could have like gotten rid of any disadvantage on me. So I gave that to Topher, being the good ally that I am. And then I was going to play a lightning bolt advantage, which would have prevented anyone from playing pre-vote or private advantages. And then, of course, Veronica played that ice flower on me or whatever, so I couldn't play anything. And I was convinced that Topher told me to give him that elephant fruit, like solely so that I couldn't save myself from the disadvantage Veronica gave me. And I was convinced that that is what happened, and I was very upset with Topher on my way out. I don't think Topher was 100% innocent. Like, I do think that he told Veronica about what was going on, but I don't think he was as heavily involved as I thought he was at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can confirm. I was like, I don't think anyone knew. I think it was just, they just wanted you out, so they were trying to block you. And I was like, especially when it was coming down to like, oh, friendships are playing a role here. Oh, okay.
I actually did not want Derek out, but at that point, I thought I was going to be the vote. So when everybody kept saying Derek, I'm sorry, Derek, but maybe I should have fought for you and tried to get the vote off of you. But at that point in the game, I just felt like I wouldn't be sitting here if I had tried to save you.
Yeah, when I said Derek's name, Melissa messaged me privately and said, "Do you really want to vote for Derek?" I said,
that's the whole thing.
I lied. I said no, but I knew Derek was like a huge strategic threat. It's like, oh, it seems like that's the way it's gonna go. But I brought it up in front of Veronica.
And that's exactly it, Grace. If you had said no, I don't want to vote Derek, then if I knew I had somebody with me, I would have tried to vote someone else. That was the hardest vote in the
Let's see. So, winners. Former winners. Not Dom. Dom, you're a winner, but now, you know, most of you came in. I remember most of your pregame confessionals were like, I'm not going to last far into this game at all. Katrina, you said you were going to be like the first out.
I mean, y'all saw, like, I was pretty public about it. Like, Devin Porter was like, you're going home, nobody likes you, you're gonna be the first one out, da-da-da-da-da. So I genuinely believe that, because obviously somebody in my tribe told him what I said, because he, like, attacked me. He's like, it's so funny how you want to just keep talking about me after all this time. It's like, there's no way. There was no way in my mind that I was gonna make it this far. So I'm really proud of myself, because, I mean, yeah, I wanted to beat Eric. I was like, that my main goal was to be the last winner standing. That was my main goal. I told y'all that. It didn't happen, but I didn't know Eric was so positioned well with Dom. Whatever. It is what it is.
Well, minus the one-up. If the one-up didn't happen, you would have been the last winner standing.
Oh, wait, what? What's the one-up?
If Pam didn't play the one-up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Pam. You should have saved Jules, and the whole game would have changed, because Jules...
I should have. Hindsight is 50-50.
Meanwhile...
If I was in that match, things would have been very different.
Very.
I would have the immunity record right now.
Meanwhile, did
Veronica.
this cast just hate non-Americans?
Sorry. Veronica, I think Pam and I were the only ones that saw you as a threat. Like, everyone else was like, do we do Travis or Leslie? And Pam and I were like, why is no one talking about Veronica? Like, she's clearly the biggest threat here.
Yeah, sorry, Jules.
No, I was the dumbass who didn't play any of my advantages that I had.
I thought you were joking when you went out. I was like, she's joking, right? And they were like, no, she really had that all.
I had a pre-merge safety without power that expired that round, but I didn't want to leave everyone else high and dry. I had an idol, I had a spring mushroom, I had an extra vote, I had the poison mushroom, I had the flood, I had a cloud flower.
You did.
I had many things that I could have saved myself with.
I can confirm. I can confirm.
Wow.
Here's
Wow.
to you, Jules. All those.
If I had a shot, if I had a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So Dan actually had the least amount of advantage in the game, with a total of 0.
Yeah, I don't know, Melissa, when you said, like, oh yeah, I had the least amount of advantages. I was like, one, I think Grace...
I'm pretty sure I had the least amount, and I really thought that.
I don't think you were the one who had the least at Final Tribal. Grace had less than you.
And let's be honest though, like I misplayed my 2 that I had. So all in all, there were 4 advantages played, but 2 I bought myself. One that I stole from Grace with Grace's knowledge that I didn't need to steal from Grace, and then one that Veronica played on. And of all of them, the one that was successful is the one that Veronica sent.
I did find it interesting that 2 of the least confessional submitted people made it in, next to one of most.
Hey, that's definitely me.
Which also goes hand in hand with how many advantages you have, because obviously we had the shot this game.
It's true.
Yeah, but to be fair though, how many guesses did I make on the idol?
I don't know if you guessed. Did you guess ever?
We want to talk about guesses with idols? We want to talk about Derek?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Derek. Let's talk about Derek. Is he here? Did he leave? No, Derek, you're here. Idol guesses.
Sorry, Derek.
What the hell, Derek?
What? I had Derek and Katrina both telling me their guesses, and between the 2 of them, I had it narrowed down to 2. I guessed one was wrong, and then as soon as the Chris Tribal was over, I was in my confessional guessing.
Well,
so.
I want to rewind because Derek was making guesses without asking questions, so that means he was making 1 in 25 shots. And then missed it, got a disadvantage, missed it, got a disadvantage. I was like, you're not even asking questions to narrow this down. What are you doing? Finally, once he started working with you, he started narrowing down some of it.
Yeah, I realized I had to work with other people or else it was just like a complete waste. I don't know, I figured go big or go home and just start guessing because I knew it was only a matter of time before someone would find it. And the disadvantages didn't hurt me at the beginning of the game like they very well could have. But
That's true. I mean,
That is true.
if you're going to take a disadvantage, take it early.
Although both piranha plants, I think both piranha plants ended up being a swing vote on both tribals they happened at.
That's true. Yeah, if we look at people that got truly advantaged out, Topher the first time, Rainey the second, Jansen, I think Taylor Curb might have had an advantage to play a role, yeah, but maybe.
I think it might have just been an extra vote. I don't think it was anything too flashy.
Yeah, it was a 6-4 vote. Eric had 2 votes that one, but he actually put the other one on Tony.
Well, I guess a lot of people also got saved by Mike's choice of using advantages as well.
Yeah.
No. I know, I now know my so-called allies were the one that voted on me, not all the people I called fakes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Which I apologize for that. You guys. I apologize for that.
Hey y'all, I gotta hop off, but can we take a quick shot break?
I'll do one.
Thank you.
Tam's gonna do her 10th. Are we at 10? She got a new bottle.
57, let's go.
Nostrovia.
Was that Dan?
Yes.
Dan, before you go, I have something to confess.
What's that?
So, on the round that Josh went, there was a vote thrown your way, and you're like, who did that?
Yep.
Hi.
I don't really give a fuck. None of y'all motherfuckers were with me in this game, and I'm happy I left.
I'm sorry.
I got my 10th shot. We'll thank you later.
Okay.
All right.
It's all good. I love you all. Game. I hope
shaking
y'all have
all of us
fun.
under the table.
To everyone, like, deuces. I'm gonna hang out with my girlfriend. Goodbye.
Sounds good. At this point, I'm just gonna say some final words, and then we're gonna go offline. But y'all can stay on the Zoom, and we can go into stuff we don't want to talk publicly about. I have a couple items, but thank you so much, YouTube, for joining us this season. Whether you just joined us tonight, whether you've been following all season, all the videos are here this season. So we have a playlist. Go check that out. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Really helps us get our channel out a little bit out there. I want to preview a couple things that's on the horizon. So we're going to take at least a couple month break. So I think we're planning to come back in October. Not exactly sure when. We have 2 upcoming seasons we want to talk about. So our next Survivor season will be, we are going to the most magical place on earth, Disney World, aka what Brendan did during the summer vacation, or what Leslie and Nicole did last week. And so we are doing a Disney World themed Survivor season. So really excited about that. That might not be our next season, though. We still haven't decided that. What we might be doing, well, one of the 2 upcoming seasons, we're going to be doing our first Big Brother season. Our YouTube channel, we purposely named it Reality Primetime because we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves to just Survivor. We've already done Traitors, so we are going to be diving into the world of Big Brother. And I'm just going to say very honestly, both seasons are going to be open to all players, whether you played or not, because at this point I don't give a crap. Anyone who wants to play can play. So feel free, apply once we post that. Like I said, it's probably going to be mid-September before we even think about an application, or sometime in September before we think about an application. But really excited for our first Big Brother season. Theme to be determined, but our next Survivor season is going to be Disney World themed. And then maybe in between them, maybe another Traitors mini between now and the end of the year. Very possible. So thank you all so much for watching YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe.